Hello, everybody. Welcome to Extra Life 2023, the ninth annual Ouija Extra Life stream. My name is Anson. Also, go on the online spaces as Ouija. And we have here Leonella, who is our CMNN program coordinator. How are you doing today?
Hi, Anson. I'm doing good. Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been really impactful to see and to hear firsthand about what we do here, especially for this major stream that we have. I would like you to introduce yourself. Obviously, who are you? What do you do for the hospital? How long have you been there?
Yeah, of course. This is actually my 1 year anniversary today. Yeah, so this is
Nice.
pretty special. So, on the 1 year mark, I recorded a video with Mr. Anson for fundraising for Children's Health. So yes, been here for a year. I am the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals Program Coordinator at the Salinas Health Foundation, and we belong to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital of Networks, right? So that means that there's only 170 hospitals or medical centers in the nation. And we're very fortunate to be one of those medical centers that is connected to the Children's Miracle Network program. Um, and actually, CMN is celebrating its 40th year anniversary this year.
Nice.
Yeah, so they've
That's
been around
awesome.
for 40 years. So that's pretty awesome. They've been doing some pretty crazy and good things for children's health.
Yeah, and Extra Life as its foundation is celebrating its 15th year. This is its
Yes,
15th year going on. So,
that is correct. Yeah.
and I've been doing it for 9, so I've been doing it for almost like more than half of the time
Uh-huh.
that it's been around, which has
Uh-huh.
been super rewarding for me. Next year will
Yeah.
be 10, and that will be a big milestone. So,
Yeah.
look out for that one. But yeah, I wanted to know how has your time? I know it's you said it like this is a year to the month. How
Mhm.
has your time been at the Children's Miracle Network and working with the hospital?
It's been an amazing time. A huge chunk of what I do is essentially building relationships with partners that have a passion for fundraising for children's programs. And through CMN, we have the ability to access corporate partners at the local level to fundraise for those programs for the children. And just to give you guys a little bit of context, a lot of us visit Panda Express, right? And
Hmm.
what happens at Panda Express when we check out? What do? They ask us if we want to round up our change, right?
Hmm.
And prior to coming here and being part of this CMN team, I didn't really think twice about that. It's like, oh, you want me to round up my change? Okay, that's no big deal. Take my change. Hopefully it's going to go to a good cause. It wasn't until I came here that whole thing kind of became full circle. Right now it became really real, and I understood that roundup change really does make its way back to this foundation, and we use those cents to make the programs that we have for those children, right?
Hmm.
So when we talk about the partnerships, we have the Pandas, we have the Ace Hardwares who are currently doing a holiday roundup for us at the stores as well. We have Outdoor Supply Hardware out in the Santa Cruz area, right? So we are able to leverage these partnerships through our relationship with Children's Miracle Network. And it goes beyond those corporate partnerships. It goes into programs, and that's where we have the Extra Life program, right?
Hmm.
Under programs, we have a golf program, we have a dance marathon where we work with
I saw
high
that on
school
the Facebook.
students.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool.
for peer-to-peer fundraising, that sort of thing. But this is where, Extra Life comes into play. And it's an amazing program. So coming into this, Anson, I'm not a gamer, I have an 8-year-old. We play Mario Brothers. It's fun. So when I came on board, I had a learning curve and I still do. So I was very excited to see and learn about this program, and even more excited to see the success that it has brought to this area, mainly through your participation.
I mean, we're all in it together, but I'll say that, I've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this part of my life and donating to this cause. But
Mhm.
um, honestly, it was super insightful when we came and visited. And you say you're not a gamer, but everybody who plays video games is a gamer.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah,
gonna split the difference here. Uh,
no.
but I found that it was very impactful for us to come and talk with you guys. I thought that was really cool, and I'm
Mhm.
really excited for the partnership that we will have going forward. I think that that will be really special. But
Yeah.
it's cool that you get to learn all of this, whether it be through the corporate side or the personnel side or the this
Mhm.
extra life side, different wheelhouses. You're learning all of this like kind of fundraising material, which I think is really special, and
Mhm.
especially for the kids, right?
Right,
So
right. Yeah, and it goes beyond so those corporate partnerships and the programs. We have a pediatric medical needs assistance program that is made possible through the generous donations that come through Extra Life and other avenues. And that, when you ask about where I spend my time, also a good chunk of my time is working with that program. We get a number of applicants in the Tri County area. And when I say Tri County area, I mean Monterey County, Santa Cruz County, San Benito County. So the benefits are not exclusive to children who come visit the Salinas Valley Health Medical Center. It goes beyond that, it's a
that's
community
important to know.
benefit.
Very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this pediatric medical needs program, families are applying for things that they can't afford for their child's medical benefit, and they can't afford it because their insurance programs aren't paying for it, and the out-of-pocket expense is not they just can't, they don't have that kind of money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when they come to me with that program, I'm able to help them purchase things like special wagon strollers, right? When we think, oh, every kid has a stroller, strollers are accessible. But when you think about the child who just had a procedure and both of her arms are casted and she's in this position for weeks to months, right? And
Hmm.
she doesn't fit in a regular stroller. And mom can afford a stroller or another stroller. So we're able to come in and buy a wagon stroller for that child. So mom is able to comfortably transport her child to and from medical appointments or to and from anywhere,
Hmm.
really, in a way that is comfortable for that child,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it's really important that like we do as much as we can to make these kids in their most scared and vulnerable time, whether they're in or even out of the hospital, like as comfortable and as happy as possible. And that helps with
Right.
the recovery process about whatever they're going through. So,
Right, right. Um, and there was another child from the Santa Cruz area who has like a global developmental delay, and she's not able to stand and walk like a regular child. She is not able to exercise like a regular child, so she finds herself sitting most of the time than standing. And the mother came to us through the Pediatric Medical Needs Assistance Program to see if we can help her purchase this electromagnetic pulse machine
whoa.
that is helping bring circulation to her legs, because otherwise it was going to bring other problems to her child. And shortly after we purchased and that item arrived at their home, and we're talking it's over $2,500.
Mhm.
Um, once we were able to help that family make that purchase, shortly after the child started, or the mom shared that they were already seeing the benefits of that piece of medical equipment,
That
right?
is awesome. That is so cool.
Yes. Yeah, that is really cool, right? So sometimes we don't think about those things. There's a number of applications that come through for iPads and iPad covers, but these are for applications that help with speech development. There are a number of cognitive conditions that create these delays, and there's a special need for a child to develop speech, and iPads are expensive. These annual subscriptions to these applications are expensive,
Hmm.
right? So again, luckily, we're fortunate enough to have partners such as yourself who donate or fundraise for these programs so that we're able to do these sort of things for the kiddos.
Yeah, that's it's super special. I mean, and every something I want to put out there is just that every dollar helps. It's not always a big thing. It's not always $25,
Mhm.
$2,500 a piece of
No,
equipment or EM
no.
equipment, but every single small dollar can help.
Mhm. Right.
Even getting a teddy bear or new bed covers,
Mhm.
or when I went to the hospital, it was. A vein finder, which was really cool. Maybe that
Mhm.
does cost a little bit, but like if
Yeah.
everyone donated $1, that would not be a problem, you know?
It would not be a problem. I mean, something as simple as stickers, right? So we provide our emergency department, recently our radiology department, with stickers. Those are inexpensive for the most part, right? So when a donor's thinking about trying to make a donation and maybe they're feeling like, well, I don't have a significant amount to give. To your point, Anson, even $1, $2, or the cents that add up at roundups, right?
Mhm.
That will help us get us the stickers for the kiddos in the different pediatric areas at the medical center.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I just don't want to I don't want to downplay how much, like, I think it was like my average last year was 3 or $4 and we raised over
Awesome.
5K. So
Yeah,
every small amount, it just goes a long, long way.
it
Um,
does.
uh how has the work that Extra Lifers, me and others included, contributed to the hospital? I know last year we talked about the NICU ward, and we got to actually visit that this year. If you
Mhm.
could elaborate a little bit more for people, that would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, so I touched a little bit on the pediatric medical needs assistance program. We have other programs that are made possible through these donations. So we have our Days of Discovery program. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, Anson. Again, this is my first year. It was my first Days of Discovery with this organization. I think of everything I've seen and experienced here this year, that one was the most impactful for me. I think I was on the verge of tears even, like, it
I
was
heard
almost like
about
this.
it. Yeah,
You
I
need
heard
to come
about
out
it,
to
and
the
it
next
was
one.
it sounded so special. If you want to tell others what the Days of Discovery are,
Yes,
that would be
yes. So Days of Discovery is a program for children with physical and cognitive special needs. And we partnered with the aquarium to make this program available to local children. And these children will come out for the first time in their lives to the Great Tide Pool for a surface scuba diving experience. To you and I, it's like, oh, that sounds cool. That's fun. Let's get in the water. Where's my dry suit? Let's do it, right?
Mhm.
But when you talk or you start to think about a child with a special need, they don't perceive it that way. They don't process it that way. So when we opened up the application process for this, we were flooded with interest and applications, and we filled up most of our slots, right? Parents were super excited about the opportunity. Their
I can
children were
imagine.
anxious.
Oh yeah.
Their children were anxious. Some were scared. Leading up to that weekend, I had parents reaching out and saying, look, it's looking like they're not going to do it. They cannot do it. Or what can we do to reassure my child? So we had to, do some things. We were starting to pair up. Like there was one child, for instance, that was having a lot of anxiety about this, but for whatever reason, if we paired her up with a girl scuba diver, that would help her and make her feel better, right?
That's good. Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
we were able to do that beforehand, and they met. And even though there was a little bit of anxiety, this child was a little hesitant about putting on the suit and even walking down the steps. It took her a little while to put her foot in the water. And then you fast forward 30, 40 minutes, you look for that child in the tide pool, you would have never guessed that that child had this anxiety, right?
She was so excited, like, So
So
excited.
excited. And then she came out of the tide pool and she's talking about all of the things that she saw. Her and her diver are going through a little coloring kind of guidebook, which of course there's a little coupon for a free hot cocoa at the end of that. That was her favorite part, apparently.
That's very cute.
um, but on the other side of that, her brother also was signed up for the program. Both of them have ADHD and autism. Her brother, we could not get him to go in the water.
Mm.
He just couldn't.
It's
He saw
tough.
his sister. It's tough. So our goal is to get him to a place next year where he might just say, "Yes, I want to do it." Even if it means just stepping foot in the general area, that will
Hmm.
be a win, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But for me, when the children are walking down the steps to the area where the water is, that was the most magical moment. I don't know how to describe that feeling. Like I'm looking at those children, I'm looking at their faces. They're going down there with their scuba diver instructors, and I could see in their face all sorts of emotions, right? And I couldn't help but feel some of those myself, and just watching them get to that bottom of that step and then that whole process to get into the water. And even more magical, Anson, is turning up and looking at the parents, seeing it all happen,
Yeah.
right? You see some watery eyes out there. You see the folks that can't believe what they're seeing because in some cases, I didn't see it myself, but I've been told that for some of these children with sensory processing disorders, they're always wearing the same clothes and they will
Hmm.
never get out of the same type of outfit. That those sweatpants and that t-shirt, that's
It's
comfortable.
a
That's all.
sensory thing for
It's a
them. They gotta
sensory
feel
thing.
comfort. Yeah.
Right. So getting into a scuba diving suit for the first time is a big deal,
Hmm.
right? So all sorts of magical moments happen there. I'm looking forward to that next year as well. We already have parents reaching out because shortly after that first one, they're ready for the next one. So I think that is just a wonderful, wonderful program. I'm so happy that that's here. And again, it's made possible through the partnerships through Extra Life and the others.
I think it's awesome also that obviously, like, the goal is to help the kids as much as possible, but in turn, that helps parents. Parents are scared also when their kids are going through a tough time. Your heart can't help but break, you know?
Hmm.
And this,
Yeah.
and seeing, well, something you said, like seeing your kid have a good time, be
Hmm.
excited, and in a totally new element, but loving it,
Hmm.
like that in
Hmm.
itself is so special. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that these events can take place through
Yeah.
these generous donations. So,
Yeah, yeah. And another program, Anson, is our asthma camp,
mm,
right? So that's been happening for a number of years as well. It's in the summertime, so children with asthma, get referred by their specialists to attend this camp. And besides it being a super fun camp, they learn how to manage their disease, right? In a fun
hmm,
way, in a kid-friendly way, and they take the scariness away from, oh, I have asthma, I have a chronic illness, right?
hmm,
So they're teaching them that, it's really not the end of the world. This is manageable. And guess what? You can live your life like a regular kid, a kid that does not have asthma, which is one of the main objectives of the camp.
hmm.
And we do have returning campers, and every camper, I actually met some of them this last time, and they say that every year the camp gets better and better. And then some of them come back as like junior counselors, right, for the
Oh,
camp. They've
cool.
already kind of graduated through the process
Oh,
because they're the older kids of the program. So we're seeing that kind of develop as well. So that's another example of programs made possible through the generous donations.
man, that is so sweet. People like the kids coming back to like help out other kids. They know how
Yeah.
important it is.
Uh-huh.
That is super sweet. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That
I
that
know.
I did not know that. So
Yeah.
that takes me back that wow, that's super special. I love
Yeah.
so like just me in general, my goal as always like ever since I moved up here is to like give back to my community. And so
Mhm.
to hear that people who got help and who received that kind of
Mhm.
motivation and ways to de-stress themselves, seeing that and
Mhm.
then them giving back to that same
Mhm.
community, that it just
Mhm.
touches me like wildfire. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I know.
Gosh, that's so special.
I
Um,
know.
uh, we did touch on a couple of stories that you have
Mhm.
seen personally. Are there any
Mhm.
others that you'd like to share? Um,
Yeah. Going back to the pediatric medical needs assistance program, I also met a family with a 3-year-old with Down syndrome,
mm,
also from Santa Cruz County. And he was going to occupational therapy once a week. And the occupational therapist encouraged the family to work with him at home to supplement the therapy that was happening with them back at home.
of course.
And one of the concerns that the mother had is that they didn't have a space for him to do his therapy, nor did they have equipment to help him do his therapy.
Mhm.
So through the program, we were able to purchase exercise mats so that he could have a safe kind of flat surface, comfortable surface to do his exercises. And then we were able to get him some exercise equipment as well.
Oh, that's
And
great.
mom, yeah, and then mom later shared that the occupational therapist had given her really good feedback about his progress and that they could tell that they were working with him at home. So that was a big win for us as well.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Allowing parents to also work with their kid in a safe environment is also so important. That is also not something I knew, so that is very special. That
Yeah.
the foundation is able to provide in that way. Obviously
Yeah.
through donations like the ones that you guys have given, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. When I spoke to this little guy's mom, when I checked in with her a few months later, I did ask her if she could say anything to the donors that made this possible. She referred to the donors as angels. She goes, "They're angels. They're angels." And she shared with me that prior to being a recipient of this grant, that she didn't think much about donations or grants or fundraisers. She was somebody who would, say no thanks if they asked her for something, or
mhm,
maybe was a little skeptical about where her donation was going and if it was really going to do good somewhere. But after, again, being a recipient of this benefit, her mindset changed a little bit. She now gives when she gets a chance, and she says, "I don't have a lot to give, but I will give."
mhm,
And because this is my way of kind of paying it forward or paying it back. I was a recipient. I benefited from the angels, the strangers, she even called them, who have no connection to my child and didn't think twice about giving to
mhm.
help a stranger, right? So that was a very kind of special moment for me, and this was pretty early on in my role here at the foundation and with the Children's Miracle Program. So for me, that kind of that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? When I came to work here, I was looking for passion work. I was looking
Mhm,
for purposeful work, right? So when I started to see these things almost right off the bat, it just validated, right? The reason for why I was making a shift to philanthropic work.
mhm.
Yeah, and then I've got hundreds of stories,
Maybe we'll record another video another
Yeah.
day about a bunch of other stories. But something I wanted to touch on just real quick is that
Uh-huh.
uh, a lot of times when you donate, you 99.9% of the times you personally will not see the the um the effect that
Mhm.
donation brings.
Mhm.
And that's a generosity on another level. When you are doing something for somebody you will never interact with or where you don't even know. Like, it's important for us
Mhm.
to know where the money goes, but it's also just important for the person who's donating to know that they'll probably never see that kind of
Mhm.
effect. But it is so important to call that out and to tell people how special it is that you are donating, um, especially to my local community. You know, that is
Mhm.
special. A lot of people donate from across the country. I've had people who donate from across the pond. Um,
Mhm.
and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's
Yeah.
donated in general. Doesn't matter where
Yeah.
you're from. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Yeah, and it even goes beyond a monetary donation. I know that your live stream here is about, we have a fundraising goal and hopefully we'll achieve it because it's a big one for you, Anson. You're going to reach a milestone of
I believe.
$50,000 lifetime in what is it, the 9 years?
No, 10 years. Next year will be 10
Going
years.
into 10.
The goal is to
Yeah.
reach 50,000 by the end of next year. That is the number one goal.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So we talked about, what those donations do and the programs that are made possible because of those things. But there's also volunteering your time, you know? So if maybe you don't have, the money to donate, then stay connected, follow us on our Salinas Valley Health Foundation
hear what?
social medias, and you'll learn about our volunteer opportunities. We have an annual NICU reunion, where these little tinies graduate from the NICU and then they come out. You see
Oh
anywhere from
no.
like just a few months old up to 20 something year olds that graduated from the
Oh,
NICU, right? And
that
it's a
is
big
so
carnival.
sweet. That is so
It's a big
sweet.
carnival. And the stories that you hear at the NICU reunion, right? And you're volunteering. Maybe you're helping with face painting. Maybe you're helping, with the kiddos at the petting zoo, or maybe you're helping distribute food or at the photo booth, right? So if there's an interest for volunteering and supporting the pediatric programs that way, then there's that option as well.
I really would like to do that. Sign me up. Sign me
Okay.
up.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to give you up the platform real quick, because we're
Mhm.
going towards the end of this interview.
Mhm.
I wanted to give you a platform to say anything you'd like, either about the kids or the foundation or just the work that
Mhm.
you've been doing in general. Like, I want to give you that
Yeah.
time.
Well, I will take this time, Anson, to thank you, the Extra Life community, your gaming community. Really, without an individual like yourself and your gaming community, this wouldn't be possible. And maybe we give a little shout out to Ben and G and Leo,
Oh
who are our
yeah.
top, extra lifers here. And again, this is only my first year. I hope to meet all of you guys in person, right? And we have big plans, right, Anson? We're gonna get
Oh,
together.
oh,
We're
we're
gonna
making plans, team. We are making do get ready for next year. We're making
yeah.
plans.
Yeah, yeah, we have these crazy ideas. We want to set up like teams, and maybe we'll do doctors versus IT department. I don't know. We'll something at a bowling alley. So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
But I'm just really, really excited for your commitment, the commitment and the involvement of the Extra Life community. I'm excited for the potential that it brings. I'm excited for the continuous support and to keep these programs alive and returning, and who knows, maybe create new programs for the needs of this community. I didn't talk to you about our healthy living program together that is also made possible through these funds, and it's no secret that in our community we have children who are unhealthy, who are diabetic, who are obese, and through healthy living together, it's a wellness program that we have to help them manage, those diseases or fight them off altogether, right?
Hmm.
So when I think about Extra Life, I just think about the future. I think about I'm very hopeful and all of the lives that we can touch and we will impact in a positive way. Yeah, Anson, we don't talk about every single life every time. It's not visible. We don't showcase them. That's not what this is about. It's really just about doing the right thing and enriching. the community that we live in. So thank you for your commitment and for rallying your community. And thank you to everyone here, everyone who's an extra lifer. If you're not an extra lifer, you can become an extra
It's
lifer.
not hard. Go to the website,
It's
sign up.
not hard. You sign up, you establish a fundraising goal. And if you signed up as a what is it, a platinum participant,
Platinum
you
member,
get
yeah.
incentives along the way. So it's also a fun way. You
That's what
get to,
this is.
that's
This
one.
was an
Yeah.
incentive from 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get some pretty cool stuff. So it's fun, you're doing what you love, and you're doing something good for your community. So it's a win-win altogether.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Leonella. I got one more question.
Okay.
This one was not on the sheet. Okay. Um, when we went to go visit the children's ward inside of the foundation, right?
Uh-huh.
We saw that there was a outside area that is going to be developed at some point within the next couple of years or so, right? Is
Mhm.
that correct?
Mhm. Mhm. Are you talking about the hallway or what area?
Not the hallway. So outside of the kids' playroom, which by the way the kids have a
Oh,
playroom,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's an outside space which has art on the walls right now. But I remember
Oh,
talking
yeah.
and they were thinking about developing it into like a sort of outdoor play area
Oh, I
or like
see.
an outdoor area. Um,
Uh-huh.
so my question is, how much money donated would it take to get us a bench with our name on it?
Oh, that's a really good one. And I don't know the answer, but I can
Okay,
find
we're
out.
gonna find out. See,
Okay, I
that
love that
after the
idea.
50,000 goal, that is the next goal. That is the goal, is to get a bench at the hospital with our names on it, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Does that
I
sound like a
will.
good?
I think that's an amazing plan. That's a great idea.
I
I
think
will
it'd
get
just be
us.
very funny.
Yeah. No, I think that's amazing. No, thank you for that. I will
Yeah,
definitely follow up on that.
of course. I think it would just be a riot. My friends have been joking about it for like 3 or 4 years. And then this year,
Really?
yeah, and then this year it kind of was like, could it happen? It could happen. I
It
think it could
could
happen.
happen. And
So,
I'm already like envisioning it like the Extra Life logo, maybe your guys' names on this bench. This is good.
I think
Okay.
that would be super sweet. So,
Yeah, agree.
thank you again, Leonella, for joining me. I really appreciate your time, and this has been really insightful for not just me, but all the viewers here for Extra Life 2023. Again, I hope that I can't wait. You guys can't wait to see what we've collabed on or what we're going to collab on in the future. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Um, for everybody who's watching, remember you can still donate all the way up until the end of the year. Today, though, in particular, we have lots of cool giveaways, especially this custom made hat with your custom color and custom letter on the front. It's very symbolic of Mario, but it's with your color and your letter. And that is, again, up for grabs. We have tons and tons of stuff, more fun to be had. Thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for donating. Thanks for your time. And especially thank you, Leonella, for your time here. Um, couldn't have done it without you. So,
No, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
all right, we're going to get back to our show. See you soon.